Hi, Nicole Redfit, Real Housewife of January 6th here, reporting outside of the courthouse here in DC on the Proud Boys trial. Everyone's really going to want to sign up for these text alerts that we have going on. Every day there is something that is happening in this courtroom. You can get updates if you text TOTC to 844-837-9924. Some days it's a little slow. I haven't seen it yet in this trial, but some days are slow. Other days we're going to get a lot of huge information coming out of this trial that you're not going to want to miss. And, by texting to TOTC 844-837-9924, you can get those updates. Even today, we do have a jury selected. They are not sworn in. They will not be sworn in until Thursday morning now. Judge Kelly is listening to all these motions that have been filed. The government filed a 7-page motion last night that the defense needs to respond to. Tomorrow, Judge Kelly will respond to all these different arguments. The 7-page motion that the prosecution gave to the court was in regards to Roger Roots. They are calling it professional misconduct, although what it is, because everything is about lies to the government, what it actually is just a conflict. And when you have so many Jan 6 cases going through this courthouse, and you only have so many lawyers that are taking up these cases, you are going to have a conflict. So we will see how Judge Kelly rules on that. Roger Roots is one of the best attorneys they have out there, and they do not want him sitting on that defense table. And this is the dirty tricks that the government keeps playing. As far as that goes, they are doing the same thing with Dan Hall, because he represented some people that testified in front of the Jan 6 committee hearings. There's a couple of people that Roger and Dan Hall have represented that are on the witness list. But what does that come down to? Anytime the government doesn't want a lawyer on the defense team, they're going to just add someone to the to the witness list, and then you can say they have a conflict of interest. It's just dirty little games the government likes to play, and out lies, honestly. We're still waiting on the ruling about Norm Pattis, if he's going to be able to be in the courtroom or not. I did do a little research on the situation there coming out of Connecticut with Norm. Connecticut is the only state that allows a trial judge to suspend someone's bar license. And Judge Barbara Bellis out of Connecticut is the judge who initiated this suspension. So the standing of that right now is as follows: that Judge Bellis will observe or take into consideration Pattis's motion of stay, which means just to stay the suspension until after trial. Also, he is awaiting on if the Connecticut Supreme Court will take up his case under extraordinary circumstances and allow him to continue practicing here in DC during this trial. A lot of issues have been raised about how is that going to leave Joe Biggs. Both of his attorneys, Dan Hall and Norm Pattis, are under scrutiny by the government. Of course they are. And that could leave him with a Sixth Amendment issue, which Judge Kelly will rule on tomorrow. The Sixth Amendment issue being his right to choose his counsel. So, the government has submitted a motion stating why, there's not going to be a Sixth Amendment issue. Dan Hall has been his attorney for the majority of this time. There was discussion of Biggs severing his case from the other Proud Boy defendants. The government is saying a big no to that. So I'm sure Judge Kelly will say no also. They believe that too much work has been put into evidence and just trial preparation for them to either sever this Joe Biggs and to even postpone the trial until Pattis can practice again in 6 months. So the government is opposing both of those. Judge Kelly will rule on that tomorrow, but he's going to rule in the government's favor, just like he has for all of the rulings mostly. So another thing that was discussed today is different things that slides that the government wants to put in during opening arguments and statements. The big statement being the defense does not want them to be able to use the quote that Trump used during one of his debates, the stand by and stand down quote. They believe that it is going to make the jury very prejudicial to the idea that the Proud Boys are a surrogate of Trump. And that is the narrative, basically, that the government wants to go after, because the government doesn't have a lot of great evidence against the Proud Boys. And so basically, excuse my language, they're just throwing crap up against the wall and seeing what sticks. And that's really what they're doing. And Judge Kelly has been letting a lot of it stick that will inflame the jury. You're looking at people here in the district, 92% of them voted for Biden. It is almost as if, the Proud Boys are pro-Trump against Biden, and that is the story that their narrative they're trying to play out. Another issue is the BLM flag burning, the post that Enrique Tarrio had put up, and, the judge is going to allow that in too. That's my prediction. He hasn't officially, but that's my prediction, because according to the government, it sets up the entire, it's the fundamental foundation for the conspiracy theory is the burning of the BLM flag, where Tarrio actually thought that he was just exercising his First Amendment right because, everybody and their dog can burn our American flag and nothing happens to them. But heaven forbid you burn a BLM flag. So, that is, you're just fighting uphill all the time with this government and with this jury that they've selected. They motioned for a change of venue. Judge Kelly, again today, Judge Kelly is saying that the exposure the Proud Boys have is national, and it doesn't matter if you move them to the southern part of Florida or if you move them to Western Virginia, they're still going to have that exposure. The problem with that is that it is a different jury pool that you're going to be able to gather from in these different places, and that really is the argument. How are these guys going to get a fair trial in this district? They're not. So we all need to be prepared for that. But the thing is there's going to be really jaw-dropping information coming out in this trial. I've heard from several different people that, you're really not going to want to miss some of these days. There's just a lot of information that's going to be coming out that we're not going to want to miss. Opening arguments have been put back until Thursday morning, so Judge Kelly can rule on all these different motions about what evidence is going to be allowed in. He is going to allow the video and the postings of Enrique burning the flag. He is going to let those in. He also is going to let in many things. Judge Kelly is being very biased right now. He is putting his thumb on the side of the government and allowing them to have their way. Cameras are not allowed in that courtroom. There is no recording allowed in that courtroom. And if we were not inside there, our team of people that are covering this, the American people would not get the true story that's happening. And, so it's so important that, that you get on to these text alerts. If anything major happens, you will be getting an alert saying there is breaking news, because trust me, there's going to be breaking news in this case, and it's going to set precedent for other Jan 6 cases, and you're not going to want to miss it. You can text TOTC to 844-837-9924. This afternoon, we may not have any more Proud Boy updates, but there are lots of things happening in the district court here in DC.